Welcome back.
Welcome back. Okay. Alrighty, and we are on.
Welcome back.
Oh my gosh.
Perhaps.
Okay. All right. 3, 2, 1. What is up, everyone? Me acting like a freaking news anchor. What is up? Welcome back to the podcast. Anyway. Okay, I gotta get.
Welcome back.
There you go. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the Girl Chat podcast with Mona
And Claire.
We're super excited to be here today. We hope you guys enjoyed last week's episode with relationship, and I really enjoyed that episode.
I did too.
I think it was
I feel
really
like
dope.
it was a really great first one. I know we
know.
already recorded one,
Yeah.
but I felt
But as the official co-host,
it was easy.
Because
it's fun for us.
Right.
We're in a beautiful marriage.
Yes,
We're in a beautiful partnership.
How you feeling today, girl?
I'm feeling good.
Good.
I feel really good. You know, last week I had just finished up a bunch of events and stuff.
Yeah.
And then that following week, I'd still had a few more, but I had the whole weekend to celebrate my friend JC's birthday.
That's
And
amazing.
Raiden just had his birthday, didn't he?
Yes.
And so
I
it's
know,
so fun.
baby boy's 5.
Yeah, I'm just chilling out. And,
Yes.
I went to an event for Lost and Found and it was beautiful.
Oh, that
and
is
so,
amazing.
Yeah, so I'm just feeling rejuvenated
Yes.
this week. Happy
Your
Monday.
cup is full, and that is beautiful. For
Yes,
me,
yes.
I'm feeling really good. I've been loving the fall weather, girl.
Mm-hmm.
We have fall candles in our house going right now, and it
love.
feels so good and cozy.
Right.
I literally woke up this morning, and I'm like, babe, it feels so homey in here. I'm about to
Right.
cough.
Because last week it was still in the 80s, but then at nighttime it was getting down to 50s, and it's just so a cozy walk with fish is what I was doing
So
with
we
my
actually
dog.
are turning off our air, and at night, just that breeze when we open up, girl.
Oh my God, I love
it.
opening the windows.
I know.
I love feeling
the
that
transition
crisp.
of fall or spring too. I do it during fall and spring.
when you're getting your kids ready in the morning and you're dropping them off, it's that crisp
I know.
autumn morning.
I know.
Ooh,
with your
I
coffee,
love that.
with the cup
Yes.
of coffee that I have.
Yes, and they're running into school, and you're at 1 p.m. It's gonna be hot outside for recess, but we're enjoying it layers. We're doing layers,
And that's what I've been doing, girl. In the
Yes.
morning they have a sweatshirt, and
Yes.
then underneath they have a tank top and shorts. So
great.
hey. But yeah,
I want to keep talking about relationships with
Yeah,
you. I think we
same.
both have really good perspectives.
Yeah.
We have I think about this sometimes. You and I have life experiences that a lot of 24, 25-year-olds don't have.
I
and
agree,
I
yeah.
also will say we have a lot of life left to experience.
Yeah.
And there are
I
people who have experienced more than us.
It is so
but
crazy. We are still once you think about it, girl, we are still babies.
I
And
know.
it's crazy.
I'm little.
And I honestly feel like I'm 40 years old. And I have
Right.
to remind myself, I am still in my 20s. Why am
Right.
I rushing
Oh my goodness.
so much? Why am I rushing everything in life when in reality, I'm a baby still?
Right. We got to keep talking about
Yeah.
clothing and stuff in your 20s because
Yeah.
it's a very transitional period.
Yeah.
But I remember telling my therapist this is probably the hottest I'm ever going to be.
I think about that all the time.
I should just really embrace my body and wear the fun, funky stuff while it's still appropriate.
No, see, that's the thing. No, I don't want you to
You
go
disagree
there.
with me?
I disagree with you because I think about that all the time. And I always tell myself, I don't care how old I am. If I want to
Right.
wear a crop top and a nice, sexy, long skirt, I'm going to do that when I'm 35,
For sure.
40.
For sure.
Because I don't want to feel like I have to transition into a mature. I mean, I can still be mature and wear a crop top. You know what I mean?
but my boobs are gonna get saggy at some point. So my boobie
I'm
tops.
sorry, I
should.
ain't got no boobs. So, I'm blessed with that.
You know, at some point my boobs are probably gonna get saggy. So I gotta wear
Wear a
my
push-up
my
bra.
boobie. I gotta wear my boobie tops and my now all this stuff working.
I get you, but
you know what?
But that's
what's
why
great
you
about
take care of
boobs?
yourself right now, though.
Oh, yes,
that's
absolutely.
Why, a lot of people in their 20s actually do Botox and stuff because it
No,
actually
I can't
prevents.
do it. I won't do it.
I think about it. I don't know if I will. I
don't like
know.
needles.
So-
That's my thing.
Well,
I don't
I have
like
a
needles.
friend. I have a friend, and she has the same problem with her jaws. She
yeah.
actually says that she gets Botox in her jaws because it actually helps her with her jaws. And I'm like, that's crazy. I
Yeah.
should try that.
You have your wisdom teeth?
No, not yet. Not yet. I've already went to the dentist with my whole jaw situation. It has nothing to do
But I'm
with my
just
wisdom.
curious if you have your wisdom teeth
No,
still.
not yet. No, they're still coming. They're still coming in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're still there. They're still marinating.
But they haven't popped out. There you go.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. But
yeah.
anyway.
No, but like on like a serious note, like Botox, plastic surgery and stuff, like I'm all about that for people who want to do it because it's going to make them feel better. It's like one of my friends had a nose job because she had breathing issues, you know?
Wow.
So like, I'm all about that. I just hope that people are safe and smart when it comes to that because
there's a lot of
fraud, like people are frauds, you know, like, and they'll like inject something bad in you. So do your research.
Yeah, I agree.
Have your consultation meetings.
I've heard those.
Do what you need to do.
Yeah. With one more thing, I've heard those stories with boob jobs, how it actually has made people extremely sick because of you're putting plastic in your boobs, like
well, and it's just healing processes too, so people's bodies just respond differently. So just be smart, just be
smart. But
I don't like needles, so that's like my thing. Like I really want a tattoo, but I'm like, oh man, I just want to like wake up with the tattoo. I don't want to go through it. literally if I woke up tomorrow and I had like this cool tattoo like wherever, I'd be like, awesome. But like I don't want to put in the time and the work. Like I don't want to feel it,
girl. It's
I'm a weenie,
girl.
I'm a weenie.
These on my shoulders, guys.
Right here.
Oh, that hurt. I hear that hurts.
That's gonna hurt
big time. But no, relationships.
Yes.
Today I really like want to dive into, I think, just like failing in relationships, because I think that's a big thing when it comes to relationships. Again, we're human. We're not perfect. We are not robots. We fail ourselves, and we're going to fail other people as well.
I think we have moments of failure.
Of course.
I think that when you fail, that's when you officially give up. That's when you don't try anymore. But there's moments.
What'd you say? Sorry.
I said, I think we have moments of failure. I don't think that anyone truly ever fails unless you give up.
Oh, yeah.
That's when, and failing at a relationship or giving up on a relationship sometimes is necessary. Like there's nothing else I can do, you know? And so, or whatever. But I think like you experience moments of failure. I don't think like you totally fail somebody as a whole, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I agree.
Because we're human. We mess up. And we have to take accountability. That's what I was gonna say. We have to take accountability.
That's what I was going to say was, when it comes to relationships, you're right. There's moments of failure, but then it's like, how do we move forward?
Right.
Whether that's ending a relationship because the failure may be so big for you to handle.
Right.
And in that, do you think that's failing?
No, because I think that my engagement, for example.
Okay, yes.
So I used to talk about my engagement, and I remember the very first Wake Weekend discussion that we had. That was the first time that I had told a group of people, let alone a group of basically strangers, that I had felt like my relationship had failed. And there were definitely parts in that relationship where I did fail, and there are parts in that relationship where my ex-fiance failed. But I remember my therapist saying like, but all in all, you guys didn't fail because you guys didn't give up, like you decided that this was the decision, or it was more on his end that was the decision that he needed to make. And now look at me succeeding in so many other things. I have a job I never thought I was going to have.
That's true.
I have I have new outlets that I never thought I was going to have.
That's very true.
I am more understanding of what I want and what type of effort I need to put in and receive from a relationship,
That is very, very true. I think failure or failing can look different in a marriage and in a serious relationship, because I feel like when you're in a serious relationship, you still have your independence to a certain degree. I mean, in marriage, you have independence too, but when you fail, it's kind of like you fail collectively because you're a union.
Correct.
You have came together as one, and so it's a little bit different, I think. No,
I agree with that.
So like, I'm so sorry, guys. That's so gross. They're probably like, ew, why are you coughing?
Coughing last week, coughing this week. Like, I made her take multiple COVID tests. I did. I was like, you do this right now.
It's crazy too, because I was like, if it comes out positive, what are you gonna do? She's like, I'm gonna be pissed at you. I'm like,
I'm gonna tell you to leave.
So in my head too, I was like, please don't be positive, because again, that could have been a failure. That could have been a failure in our friendship.
It would not have been a failure. I would have just told you to.
For instance, if I'm being vulnerable, one thing in my marriage that I feel like I failed in a certain moment was me being extremely selfish. For a while, I was extremely selfish in my marriage because I wanted to have fun, because I don't think I've really ever had fun, because again, became a mom at such a young age, and Tyler was so willing to help out and be there, and so in a sense I took advantage of that kindness, and I would go out and leave my family and go party, and this is real shit, like and that was very, very selfish of me, because not only did I fail myself and my family, but I actually failed my kids, and I failed Tyler in that phase of my life that I was going through.
So,
and I think more so it was because I was hurt deep down. When you're a hurt person, you tend to be extremely selfish, because you've not healed.
And it's all about a balance, right? There is nothing nothing wrong with you wanting a night out. By yourself with your friends. And there's nothing wrong.
But when it comes every single night, that was my problem. It was almost every night.
You were overindulging.
Yes, I would literally put the kids to bed and I would be like, peace. And I would go, and it would be every night, maybe every other day, and I would be gone till like 3, 4, 5 in the morning. I would come home, and then I would be too hungover to take care of my children, and that was extremely selfish.
It just wasn't good.
And that put a big hole in my marriage, you know. And so that's one example where I failed my family.
So one way that I feel like I probably failed in my engagement was once my ex-fiance and I we moved away, and my grandpa wasn't doing too well at the time, and we knew that. And there was like a very real possibility that like my grandpa could die in months or years, it's hard to know. But when my grandfather passed away, my cousin ended up passing away 2 weeks later. And so, I was really hurting. For obvious reasons. I was grieving a lot. I was grieving the loss of my life here. I was grieving the loss of my grandpa. I was grieving the loss of my cousin. And so, I was grieving a lot. And maybe when I should have been leaning more into my fiance at the time, I was just coasting. Like I was just really coasting. And like, it was like a really big roommate phase for us too. Like I was coasting, and like I really should have been leaning into him more and been trying to grieving just looks different. I don't know how to put it. Like grieving does just look different. You go through phases. And you go through phases, but like there were definitely times where my fiance was like, do you want to go do something? And I was like, no, I just want to stay here. And so like, I need to take accountability for like, that was not the healthiest way for me to grieve. And I've discussed this already. And so like, I need to take accountability to say like, that wasn't a healthy way to grieve. And it probably did hurt our relationship a little bit, the way I was dealing with that. In the moment, it's hard to know.
Yep, exactly. I was just
in the moment, it's really hard to know. So like, I want to give myself some grace, because I lost a lot. I lost two really important people to me very quickly. And, that's hard. Yeah. But like at the same time, like I should have taken more accountability, and like, I can't just sit around and be sad forever,
Yeah, no, I think accountability is when you're able to finally like take accountability for your actions and stuff. That's where the healing starts. That's where the healing starts, and you're no longer in that victim mentality. Right. Because before that, you are in that.
Oh my God, you're so right. I was in survival mode. I felt like a victim. I've just felt like the only thing I could be was sad.
And that's how it was with me too when I was going through that phase of like, that's what I felt. How I was coping with my hurt and my pain from within. In that moment, I didn't realize at all. But when I finally looked back and finally took that accountability and started that healing process, I was like, damn.
Accountability is so important. Because
and it doesn't even, again, with failing, it doesn't even have to be these big extravagant no, it can even be like, yo, I really wanted to count on you today to do the dishes and do the laundry, because I've had a busy
XYZ
week
to do.
Yeah, so I want to say that too. It doesn't even have to be, you know.
You're right, because
we fail.
Honestly too, like when you get close with somebody, and this is it, people closest to you are the ones that hurt you the most, right?
Yeah,
because you
you're comfortable with them.
You're comfortable with them, and you have like, you've shared your hurt with them too. So then when somebody close to you hurts you, it's like, how dare you?
Yep.
Honestly, like, how dare you? Like, I can expect this from these people in my life, and I share this with you, but now you're the one doing this. It hurts a little bit more, and it is a bigger deal because you trust, especially in a romantic relationship, like, you trust this person
with everything.
And with everything. And so, like, it sucks. It sucks to be let down. And it sucks to disappoint somebody else. I hate disappointing people.
Oh, same.
But you're gonna do it. And like, you have to be okay with that. Like, obviously, like, it's not intentional. You don't want to hurt people, but sometimes you do. You hurt people and you disappoint them. So take accountability.
Yeah. Yep. I think for me, talking about the expectation part where like, I used to be that person that expected so much from people and it actually got me nowhere. And I'm finally at a point in my life where I don't expect much from anybody. I'm like, because knowing me and the type of person I am, if I start doing that, I start holding people on this pedestal. And I'm like, I can't do that. Because then again, you're human.
You're human.
I'm human. We can't expect no one. We're not God. You're not God. You know what I mean? And so, talking a little bit about just expectations and stuff, I think I've struggled with that a lot throughout my life. And then
I would agree with this.
When people let me down, I'm like, F you.
I agree with this.
But then,
because I'm somebody. Oh, go ahead.
And then at the same time too, though, what you were saying with the people closest to you. It's easier in a sense too for me to forgive. I'm hurt, extremely hurt, but I also can forgive easier. Yeah. If that makes sense. Like, it's so weird.
I think it's situational.
Oh, yeah.
I definitely think it's situational, but I would agree with that. I think that I definitely give the people closest to me more grace.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, versus like somebody that maybe I just met, or it's a shorter term relationship or whatever. It's like, then I can have the attitude of like, F you, you know, like I can have the attitude of like, screw you, or like, I can do this back to you, or, you know, I can be petty.
Yeah.
Like, I can be such a petty person. I really can.
Yeah.
You want to play the petty game? Fine, I'll play the petty game. But that is not a good attitude to have. It's not. Yeah. It's not healthy. It's not productive. No, yeah. But like when...
That's very true.
It is. Like in a workplace, for example, like if, you know, I used to work in a retail store.
Yeah.
And, you know, if like somebody said something petty, I was like, screw you, I'm not talking to you for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Which like is not healthy because we're on a team. Like that's not healthy. And, you know, or like when I was serving, like traditionally serving, like sometimes I would have like guests just be so rude. And I was like, I'm going to make sure this table gets their food. Like that's not a good thing to admit because like you know, sometimes it was kind of like, oh,
again, we're human.
We're human. And so like, you know, that was years ago.
Yeah. You're like, I'm like, have you worked
I'm a professional.
On it? Have you worked on it?
I have worked on being petty, but
I think for me, I give back the same energy. I'm a big observer. Let me observe you. Again, I know I've said this multiple times. I'm a person, I don't let people in very easily. I'm like, let me observe you for a little bit and I'm going to see. And I give the same energy back. It's not saying if you're extremely rude, like not going to, you know what I mean? But to a certain extent, I know. I watch people. I'm like, okay, let me see.
Right. And it's just like,
I don't know. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that either.
I don't think so either. I think like as long as it's not like intentionally sneaky, like, you know, like I don't want to feel like the guy I'm dating.
Yeah.
Okay. We've been dating for about five weeks now.
Yeah.
And like I remember asking like, can I bring Fish over, my dog? And he was just like, oh man, like this kind of feels like a test. And he was open about that. He was like, this feels like a test. Like I like never grew up with animals, blah, blah, blah. And so he was like, you know, like I don't feel super comfortable with like dogs on like my furniture or whatever. And, you know, I was just telling him like, first of all, oof. I texted back and said, oof, I ain't never testing you. Because like, that's not what it is. It's a conversation. And so like, I don't know where I was going with this point, but like, you know, like you don't want to feel like you're testing people. And so like just being very intentional about that. And like, it made me feel bad that he almost felt like there was a moment for him to fail in this. Like,
because he didn't want to let you down.
He felt like I was testing him. And I just like told him like, this is my background with my dog. Like, first of all, he's 2.5 years old. I'm really busy. Like, I just like want to enjoy my dog. But like, also, if you don't want him in your space, that's fine. Come over to my space.
Oh.
And like, this is why I allow him on my furniture. You guys don't let dogs in your furniture either.
Nope.
Like, you guys have pushed Fish down, which is fine. Like, I get that. But like, then you have to come from like the standpoint though, as like, okay, well, I am a dog owner and he is allowed on furniture. So maybe that's why he's confused here.
Yep.
And then like, we just figure out
that
that dynamic. But yeah, he like almost felt like there was an opportunity for him to fail. And I was like, that's not what this is about.
No.
Like, I'm
all
asking.
comes down to the communication.
It comes down to the communication.
And I think
and accountability.
Yeah.
Like me saying like, okay, I understand why this may have felt like a test, but you're not failing this test. It's not a test. I'm not testing you. And we move forward. We came up with a solution.
I was just going to say
which was Fish came over.
Wait, he came over to his house?
No, Fish went over to his place.
Okay, so it did.
It was fine. And but it was just something like it needed more exposure to.
Yeah.
Like his older sister has dogs, but like they never grew up with dogs. He doesn't have a pet, you know?
Yeah.
And so it was just like, yeah.
I'm so sorry, guys.
It's okay. It's all good. But yeah, he felt like he was failing me already.
Oh my God, this sickness, girl. Oh, I mean, I'm not sick, but oh my God. Anyway, yeah.
Change of the seasons. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I was sick, but I think it's,
You're getting over
I don't know what the fuck it is. But anyway, sorry for my swearing. Anyway, guys, no, I totally agree with you. I think it all comes down to, I may have failed you or you may have failed me, but it's like, how do we move forward? And that's where the steps come in. That's where the communication comes in. And I'm going to say this proud and clearly, therapy works extremely well.
Oh, I love therapy. Therapy has made me so much more accountable for my actions. And if I'm like in a conversation with my therapist and I'm like, and then she said this to me and she was like, okay, well, what were your intentions into this conversation? You know, like just being very intentional. And like sometimes in the moment you can't be, you're not very rational. You're not very intentional. Sometimes in the moment you were hurt and you say mean things.
Oh yeah.
And you say mean things. But what is going to make relationships stronger, whether it's friendships, romantic relationships, your dynamic with your family,
you gotta go through
obstacles. You gotta go through obstacles. You gotta go through those fights, and you have to say, "This is where I was wrong.
Yeah,
I am sorry for that. Could you see how maybe I would have reacted because this is what you did? But let's hear it from your end. Next time we don't talk to each other like this. Next time we take a pause. Next time if I need to clear my head, don't call me for 30 minutes. Let me do that. Just setting boundaries and saying, I take accountability for hurting you.
I totally agree with this all.
Like, I'm taking accountability. You hurt me as well.
I was a person that did not handle could not set boundaries with friendships, with
it's hard
because it's hard because again it's that people pleasing, but then I actually realized though too, like that in a sense is manipulation. It's actually very damaging, and that's when I realized, wait, like I don't want to be this type of way. And so boundaries are essential in any type of relationship.
Absolutely.
Because then it's like, oh, you're not testing the limits. You're not, you know, and that can be damaging in itself. But like going back to therapy, like marriage counseling really does help. It's amazing. And just having someone there that has no idea who you are and is a mediator and can help figure out struggles and failures in your relationship and move forward and help you move forward is amazing. Like, because a lot of people look at, you know, marriage therapy as like, oh, that's like the last resort. No,
it should not be. It should be you get married and you sign up for marriage counseling because you're starting a whole new life with somebody. And you're compromising parts of your lives that you've already established, and you're saying goodbye to some of that too. And then you have kids, and then you have jobs, or you work together, or blah blah blah, whatever. Or maybe it pisses Tyler off that you take 45-minute showers and he just needs a 15-minute one. You know, like sometimes it's just good to like get that out in a productive and constructive space with an individual who doesn't know you because they are truly like a third party. It's like, and sometimes too, when I'm in therapy with my therapist, sometimes I think to myself like, I wouldn't feel comfortable saying this to somebody I know. And now let's think about why I said it to a stranger who is a professional. Obviously she's not a stranger, but you know, but like she's a professional, right? And it's like, why was it easier for me to say that to her? And maybe let's think
because
about that.
she's not going to judge.
Right.
She's going to be understanding.
But then it also raises the question of, okay, I really need to, let's just say, for example, I really need to have this conversation with Mona. You know, like this is just an example, just a random name. But like maybe I need to have this conversation with Mona, and it was easier just to get it out first in front of my therapist. And now I can dissect how I truly feel and what my true intentions are behind this conversation. And now I need to move forward with it.
I really like that. I like it's in a sense you're processing it. You're processing.
Like, am I really upset about something, or is there really an issue, or like how do I navigate this?
Yes. Or
Sometimes just.
Sometimes we
bite your tongue for a minute and go to your therapist.
Yep, that, and again, we perceive things
differently,
completely differently, and that's the beautiful thing about humans and stuff is like perspective allows us to have an open mind with each other. Like
absolutely,
if you're empathetic and understanding towards someone else's perspective and not judging, like that allows such a beautiful conversation.
Right. Yes, I agree with you.
Oh, gosh, I am so sorry. I know that's gross that I'm coughing, guys, on the podcast, but I did not want to cancel today. Like,
Her COVID test was negative once again.
I promise. Gosh, I promise. I'm so sorry, guys. Like, I know this is so disgusting, but I literally was like, no, I'm not canceling this podcast. Like, we're doing
We are busy people.
I'm going to cough.
No, but that's okay. That's okay.
I think failure in relationships is normal. It's okay. And
it's a
all
spectrum.
all we have to do is move forward. And that's the part of growth and overcoming obstacles and healing.
Growth and healing. Because yes, you're going to hurt your partner. You're going to hurt your partner. You're going to hurt your friends. You're going to hurt your family. And you have to take accountability and you have to move forward and you have to identify like, yep, I'm still human. I made this mistake, especially in a romantic relationship, because everything that you do does affect your romantic partner, especially once you start to live with them.
Yes.
It really does affect your romantic partner. Like, I remember before I moved away once my engagement ended, that day I had 3 different job offers. And that day I went home and I was like, I should really discuss some of these job offers with Wyatt. Oh, my ex-fiance. That's fine. That's the first time I've said his name. And he's not a secret,
Okay.
But I remember going home being like, I really need to talk to him about this. Like I should, I think I know what I want to do. But, at this point we were sharing finances, like blah, 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 whatever, we were sharing space, schedules, whatever, I was like, one of these really seems like the obvious answer to me, but maybe he has a perspective to it. And, and when he was picking out grad schools, there were conversations about where do we want to live? What can we afford for grad school? What does it look like with your time commitment? We had those conversations together because it wasn't just
you and it wasn't just him.
Like ultimately, like when picking a job, like, what I wanted mattered the most because it was my job, but I wanted his insight on it,
because your partner, their opinion means a lot,
right.
And you respect their opinion, and again, your outview.
It affected both of us. Yeah. What job I was going to take was going to affect both of us.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you, and I think, I think this was awesome. I think,
this was great.
Again, you're gonna fail in relationships, guys, and it's okay. It is okay. Give yourself grace, give your partner grace,
absolutely,
and move forward.
Take some accountability and learn and grow, and it's gonna make you stronger.
Yes.
The more and more you have these tough conversations, the less difficult it's going to get.
And that too, and you're gonna feel a lot more connected and safer within your relationship. I have realized that
confrontation's gonna be easier.
Yes, and I've realized that too, girl. Like, because I used to always shut down in arguments and stuff because I didn't want to hurt my spouse. And what I realized is that actually damaged me more from within. And finally opening up and having open communication, I'm like, wow, like you just feel much more connected with your spouse and seen. And you trust each other more because you're not hiding anything. A lot of people hide how they truly feel or what they're going through because they're afraid. And when you finally like allow yourself not to fear that and just be open with each other. It's beautiful. It's beautiful thing.
It's just it's a liberating feeling. I use that word a lot, but like it is a liberating feeling, and it's just like nice to feel seen and heard, and it gets easier if you continue to be vulnerable with each other and have hard conversations. It does, like, you know, sometimes conversations are really hard. Confrontation is really hard. It's difficult. It makes a lot of people feel uncomfortable. But like the more and more that you're willing to be honest and take accountability, you grow.
No, I agree. And that's what it's all about. Growing with each other, guys. Again, I'm sorry for the absurd coughing. Hopefully it didn't gross any of you out. In my head, I was like, yo, people are probably gonna be like, ew, this girl is really...
I'm sorry.
Oh man, but yeah, anyway, thank you.
Thank you for listening to Girl Chat with Claire and
Mona.
Yay, I feel like we're on iCarly.
I know. Hey, I used to love our iCarly, girl.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny. But yeah.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.